Hi guys, it's your girl Vanessa, and I'm your ally through the ups and downs of this journey we call life on Earth. And today I wanted to talk a little bit about strength and what that means to me in this moment, because it might change, it probably will change as life progresses, but in this moment, strength to me means walking through life and being your own eye of the storm, if you will. Walking through the chaos that can sometimes be this life and staying centered. Walking through other people's energies and other people's stuff and coming out unaffected. And that doesn't mean that you have to be callous or that you don't care. But being able to interact with people and stay true to yourself in your center, if that makes sense. Like being around someone who's just having a really crappy day and saying a bunch of crazy stuff to you and not letting it affect you. Being in a chaotic situation and staying calm and knowing that it will work out. Staying true to yourself when there's pressure to conform and fit in and be a part of something, anything. Staying true to yourself and what you're here to do and who you want to be and how you want to show up. Staying true to that no matter what. That to me is what strength is about right now. And strength is also looking at yourself and your own stuff and doing the inner work, the shadow work, looking at the stuff that you don't want to look at, looking at the stuff that you've pushed down for so long because it hurts, because you're ashamed of it, because you don't want to remember it. Looking at that stuff with love and compassion and being able to just give it the attention that it seeks so that it can heal and be released. That is strength to me right now. Especially, looking at yourself. Because there's lots of people who talk the spiritual talk. But if you don't show up and do the real, dirty, crying by yourself work, talk's just talk. You can talk yourself blue in the face and you still won't have grown. You still won't have transcended anything that's been holding you back. You will still have the same limiting beliefs. If you say that you've healed something in yourself, but you still go through the same patterns and end up in the same situations with the same kind of people, feeling the same kinds of emotions, you haven't done the work. You haven't dug deep enough. You haven't gotten to the root of what's going on and what needs to be healed. And it's not pretty. I mean, I feel like we have this idea that your spiritual path and your spiritual journey needs to be like this bright, enlightening, euphoric state. And don't get me wrong, there are parts of it that definitely are that. But to get to that point, you gotta dig under the surface of the water, dig through the muck of your trauma, your addictions, your your heavy emotions, and see where they're coming from. What you went through to make you develop these beliefs. You're not a bad person. There's nothing wrong with you, but there are aspects of us that need to be acknowledged. That's all it is. It's not something that you have to deny, and transcending these things doesn't mean that all of a sudden you're better than that. It just means that you know what it is, you know what it feels like, you know where it came from, and you love on it, and you've accepted it, fully accepted it, to the point where you can see it in someone else and not feel the need to judge it. Because I feel like, and I've seen it, we project aspects of ourselves that we do not like onto other people so we can hate it. So we can judge it and we can feel better than it. Because we don't want to acknowledge that that is part of us. So we'll make it about somebody else and their shit. There's just something going on with them. It's their shit. I'm above that. No. We all go through the same stuff. And we have all been hurt. We've all been shamed. We've all been shut down and not listened to. We've all been hurt. We all have these wounds to our spirit. And ain't nobody better than anybody else. Bottom line. So strength is owning your shit. Strength is looking your own shadow and darkness in the face and accepting it and not analyzing it to death. Just acknowledging that it's there, where it came from, and how that aspect of yourself developed to protect you. Because these beliefs, and these thought patterns, and these things that we don't want to acknowledge, our psyche developed them to protect us from something. To protect us from feeling further pain. Or to protect us from being outcast. Or to protect us from potentially being shamed. To keep us safe. That's all these, and that's why they're so hard sometimes to deal with, is because they're so ingrained in us, and with the patterning that these are what has kept us safe for so much of our lives. But if you can see that these limiting beliefs, these emotional patterns, and these patterns of behavior that get us into the same situations and get us into these patterns, if you can see that where they once fit and where you want to go that they don't fit anymore, then you can start doing the work and, oh, look at my hands, massaging it out and reworking them, because you're never stuck anywhere. You're never stuck anywhere. Anything that's going on in your life can be reprogrammed. Even physical illnesses, mental illnesses, addictions, all that stuff can be reprogrammed. But it takes diligent work, and it takes brutal honesty. And it takes a hell of a lot of compassion for yourself. Because when you get in and start digging this stuff up, it's really easy to get super judgmental about yourself and where you were at the time. And that's not going to help. Because everything that you've gone through to this point was supposed to get you to this point. It was supposed to teach you a lesson, teach you how to stand up for yourself, teach you whatever. It's supposed to be a stepping stone to where you are now. So if you can see it that way, as a stepping stone and not as some freaking burden that you have to shoulder, it'll release a lot easier. If you can see it as stepping stone, thank it for what it's taught you, and learn something new. Learn a new way to deal with these certain kinds of people. Learn a new way to deal with these kinds of situations. Learn a new way to stand up for yourself, and learn a new way to be. It's all within you, and you have support to do this work. I know it can feel really lonely, and you can feel like the only one who's going through this crazy stuff, but you're not alone. You're not alone. And if you need some support, let me know. That's why I'm here. We're all here together. If we were supposed to do this all alone, I've said it before, if we were supposed to do this all alone, we would be here alone. But we are here with billions of other people. And we're all trying to do is heal. All we're all trying to do is be happy and have joy in our lives. So why can't we do that together and hold the space to do that together and show up for each other with love rather than judgment and a need to be better and a need to be more spiritual? That doesn't exist. Nobody is more spiritual. We are all spirits having a human experience. Nobody is more spiritual or more enlightened. That's a bunch of BS. It's just a bunch of BS to keep us separate. And I think that is one of the major core wounds that affects us all, is separateness. Feeling just feeling separate from everyone. Feeling like we don't belong. Feeling like we're not accepted. Feeling like we're not understood and heard. That's the big stuff. That's where a lot of these things that keep us stuck stem from. Is we're just trying to not feel that separateness. Trying to be accepted by other people who want us to think like they do. But we can't all think alike. We're not all alike. And how are we supposed to learn from each other if we all think the same stuff? It won't happen. We'll just freaking pass the same information back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And won't get anywhere. It'll be a big freaking hamster wheel. So, I feel like I went on a bit of a tangent there, but it felt important. So strength is just owning your stuff and showing up for yourself and just being honest. Let's just all be more honest with each other and with ourselves. Because it really donks with your energy when you're lying to yourself about being happy, about liking what you do, about whatever. It just makes you sick. If not physically, emotionally, spiritually. And when those things are out of whack, you get physically sick. Because it's all connected, whether we want to believe it or not. I'm going to leave this one right here. I'm sending you guys so much love, so much love. And yeah, if you need some support, hit me up here. That's why I'm here. And we're all in this together. But caveat, I will not help anyone reinforce their story. If you want to break through it, let's talk. It's easier than you might think. And that old story, that we love it so much, doesn't serve us anymore. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing these videos. And thanks for being out in nature with me. I'll talk to you guys real soon.